Welcome to another episode of Core Discussions. I'm Legacy.
And I'm Max.
I'm Bobby.
All right. So first, I'd like to tell you all, thank you all to all of those who are watching. We see we're hitting some good numbers, and with that being said, we have a lot of people watching, but we only have 70 something subscribers. But we have like over three times that people who are viewing our videos. So to all those who are viewing, please subscribe, like, share, all that fun stuff. Just hit the subscribe button. Just help us out with the algorithm and all of that. So, as you all have been knowing, we have been hinting at this show for a while. We just did our predictions for the year, so now we're going to be doing a weekly NFL recap show. So, it'll be coming out on roughly Wednesday night or Thursday morning each week, and we will be capping off this week. This week, we're actually filming this Monday night during the Seahawks Broncos game. Usually, we're going to wait till Tuesday night, but Monday night just worked better for us this week.
No scheduling.
So, we are going to get into it. Let us know how you like it. So far, it seems like we have a good enough NFL fan base. So, let's go in. We're going to start off with our Thursday night game. All right, guys, and this might go into the category of overreactions. What were you all's thoughts on that Thursday night game?
Josh Allen.
Yeah, my first thoughts, Josh Allen was damn near perfect. In fact, he should have been an even better stat line. Both the picks were questionably not even his fault. The first one, definitely not. Like we said on NFL show, he's going to be right up there with MVP. He's going to kill it all year. The Bills should be, if they don't even make it to the Super Bowl, it's going to be a huge disappointment.
Huge.
Yeah, Stafford didn't look sharp all day, so I don't know. I don't know if that injury that he had in the off season is still affecting
I don't
him.
know either.
But
yeah, some of those throws were not there.
He didn't have the normal zip, and at least he had 3 picks. But I can't remember I know one of them was pretty egregious, but
yeah, one of them was really bad. I'm trying to remember what the other two were, but I remember one saying, "Wow, that was horrible."
I mean, I've been telling y'all about Stafford for how long? Y'all
finally
finally
he just won a Super Bowl, Bob. Okay.
Any quarterback could have won it with that team. You put Sam Darnold on there, Super Bowl.
Goff could have won with that team.
Sure could.
That was a different team. They didn't have Von Miller on the team that Goff had.
Goff had Todd Gurley at his highest peak. And all those
completely different team.
He had Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald.
Different.
Good Jalen Ramsey.
Speaking of Jalen Ramsey, I do love that quote about Jalen Ramsey's quote about Allen, and Allen freaking abused him.
Yeah, that quote. Somebody should ask him, does he still think Josh Allen sucks?
I'm sure now he doesn't, but I'm sure they're probably cool with each other.
You don't talk trash until you know for 100% fact the person sucks.
Yeah, it's like when Josh Rosen said there were 10 mistakes drafted ahead of me. I'm like, dude, why even say that? You're setting yourself up for failure.
There's a point to say it, but be wise. I mean, I think for me, what I saw the game was, I think there's been a little bit of overreaction. There's been overreaction to the Rams. One, it's not the first time. Not saying the Rams can't bounce back. If everybody remembers, the Buccaneers from a couple years ago, they had a horrible start to their season, and everybody was ready, and a lot of people were there. Oh, see, Tom Brady's not good, and they ended up winning a Super Bowl. There are some causes for concern. That offensive line, there's certain things that I think with Stafford, him not playing preseason, has affected a lot of things, and I think you could even see it with him barely throwing to Allen Robinson. I think that they don't have that connection yet. That will increase over time, but the line really gave me a cause for concern, just because you can fix some things, but the line just did not play well. And I know Von Miller was there. Von Miller was playing out of his mind. If Von Miller plays like that all season long, he's about to take this defensive player of the year. But that was more my cause of concern. It's the line cannot hold, and if they can't hold, granted, again, they're playing against Bills. It's a hard opponent. Bills were there's something about when you win, and the Bills weren't really feeling. Bills really wanted to prove something, and I think the Rams were kind of show mode of we just won.
Yeah, my only concern is Ramsey against top receivers, because if he plays, he's going to do well against the lesser teams. It's just once it comes playoff time, because his past 2 games, they said, I think the quarterback rating's 140 or something when he's targeted the past 2 games, the Bucks game and this game.
Maybe.
No, it's 6. It's more than that. It's 4 of 6 games.
Yeah,
he's been dusted.
That is the concern. It's can Ramsey still guard the number one guys or the good number ones? I'll
Yeah,
say.
you might. As I say, you might need to be putting somebody over the top for him because I mean, I think also if that pass rush is not getting there, and then you're now putting him in an island, I think that was kind of what helped is the pass rush was getting there. Now, this past game they weren't, so Josh Allen had time.
No, like I said, it looks like it's gonna be the Bills or Chiefs that make it to the Super Bowl in the AFC. I just don't see another team doing it.
All right, so let's move into some of the other next games. Max, if you want to talk about your team.
I mean, the score's a bit closer, but I had no doubt they would beat Detroit. So.
Detroit impressed me. I didn't like they kept hanging in there.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
That's the
I didn't
Dan
think,
Campbell effect.
I'm more disappointed with the defense with all the upgrades,
Yeah.
allowing 35 points. That was unexpected. The 38 points, I'm not surprised. The Eagles' running game is almost impossible to stop. The issues still cropped up. My questions, concerns with the team still cropped up. Jalen Hurts was inaccurate. The passing game, aside from the Hurts to AJ Brown connection, wasn't very good. So nothing really got answered. This went pretty much how I thought. Again,
AJ Brown
just-
balled out though.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he
AJ Brown's gonna make a TO like impact
Yeah.
for them. So
Yeah, I do think what might hold the Eagles back is Jalen Hurts' passing efficiency.
Well, and
that's
he's
the
not
only thing.
he's not the biggest dude, and he has 17 carries. Like if he
He can't-
keeps
he
having
can't
that clip, something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
He's not a Cam Newton type. He can't. He's
There was a couple times he took it that I'm like, dude, you probably gonna need to learn to throw that because you can only take so many hits. I will say for the Detroit, I gotta apologize to Dan Campbell. I thought that was one of the worst hires, but I'll give him his credit. That team will fight for him tooth and
Yeah.
nail. I don't know what he's doing, but that team will fight
So,
no matter
Like I
what.
said, they might be a quarterback away from being dangerous. I'm not saying Goff is terrible. I think he's a starting caliber quarterback, but if they had a better one, they might be real dangerous.
Mhm.
That team will fight and die for Dan Campbell.
well, and they
Top-
got. I mean, Donders was a baller. He
Oh,
had
yeah.
he averaged what was it? He had like 140 yards.
But once you give him the ball, we all knew, just give this man the ball. He's gonna do work. And Candace drafted him, so we definitely knew he's gonna have a season. That was another sign. We'll go ahead into my team. New England versus Dolphins. Again, like you all know, if you know from my preseason prediction, I don't really expect it to be a good year for the Pats. The game went a little worse than I expected. I didn't think it was going to go well. Usually they struggle versus Miami. Definitely, they always split that series, no matter how good either team is. The causes for concerns have all popped up. Offensively, the team is in disarray of who knows. Mac Jones is also injured right now, so I mean,
Is he like
honestly,
gonna miss games? Is he gonna miss some games?
yeah,
No.
he's supposed to. I think they said he might miss a game.
he said he wasn't, but he said
Yeah.
he spoke to people today.
We'll see, but I'm not gonna be horrible if they have a really bad season because I think they need a top pick or something because that offense I don't trust it. It's my biggest concern from the whole season. I don't trust it. Mac Jones has nothing to throw to, and you only have a run game, and everybody can just stack the box and know. Who are you afraid of beating you on the outside? Nobody.
Yeah, this has got to be
So-
one of the worst receiving cores in the NFL.
It really is.
And they paid to upgrade it. this
Besides
past season.
Green Bay.
Yeah, and all the pays were stupid pays, and I don't we didn't get a number one. That was the main concern. I was like, who's the number one? Don't have a Pro Bowl receiver to help Mac Jones. Don't have an All-Pro or Pro Bowl. I'm hoping that if you at least get a number one pick, you can trade for somebody or try and work free agency well enough. I think the fact that you're starting to see them going further and further away from Brady is also losing Josh McDaniels, which was another hit that I haven't really talked about. But that's another hit to the offense that I really think there's going to be questions coming about Belichick. I don't think he's afraid. He's nowhere near losing his job, but I think pending this season, there will be a lot of questions about what is he doing.
There's already so many questions. I mean, this offense looks just putrid, and I don't see signs of it changing. I don't see.
Yeah, I was
how it's gonna
like,
get much better.
No, I don't. Yeah,
I was like Phil. I was
Yeah.
just surprised by how bad the offense was for New England.
The defense for the Patriots still is pretty solid, holding Miami to 20 points. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But I mean, ain't gonna mean much if you can't score.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna wear down if you got to keep it on the field all the time. So, and just the play call from the play calling of like who's calling, like, really, do we even know do we have a competent coordinator? So especially without a star QB, that Mac Jones is very young, and we have a chance to really stunt his growth. Miami, on the other hand, defense looks pretty good, but
Yeah.
we'll see later weeks as they kind of play more and more. Yeah.
Not the worst
wasn't-
debut for Tyreek.
No, I wasn't too impressed over. I thought Miami would score more points than this. Tua is 4-0 against the Patriots, so that's impressive.
Yeah.
Even though it was like past the Brady era, pretty much. But still, 4-0. They're gonna be a playoff team. I just don't. I still got to see it from Tua before I'm like Super Bowl.
Well, it's that, and honestly, I think they need some help in
Yeah.
the run game too.
True.
Yeah, the run game was not very good.
Wasn't good, but again, I don't know if that was Patriots were zoned in more on the run game than the
Yeah.
pass game. Of they were kind of like, don't let that thing beat us. Really make Tua have to beat us. Tyreek did have a heck of a grab, that one that should have been
Yeah,
picked
yeah.
off, honestly,
It should've
and he
been.
just took it. Yeah.
Also, we got
So-
to see a Jalen Waddle touchdown dance, so that's always nice.
Oh yeah, did Waddle. All right, let's go to another 1:00 game. This is probably going to be the big game, Cincinnati versus the Steelers.
For Pittsburgh, I really don't think it means much of anything. But I think actually the most important big news is not even that they won the games that they lost. TJ Watt, most likely for the year. So that's really going to hurt them. I really just don't really think the Steelers did anything offensively. I really think they were just gifted the game. The Bengals more gave it away than the Steelers won.
Mm-hmm.
Mitch Trubisky did not impress me whatsoever. I think with any decent quarterback, they would have won that game by a few scores instead of going to overtime and barely squeaking it out when you get 5 turnovers. Joe Burrow's not going to play worse than that the rest of the season. So
No,
Beans
that
up.
Yeah. What Tomlin said he doesn't plan to
Be a
start Kenny
playoff team?
Pickett, but I bet by week 10 or whatever, Kenny Pickett will start. He's too bad, Mr. Trubisky.
I saw some people like Mr. Trubisky played solid or something. No, he did not. He did not.
No.
He had some good throws near the end to get them to that game-winning field goal. But if the defense didn't give them 5 turnovers, they would have gotten destroyed, and
Yeah.
Trubisky would have
Yeah.
probably thrown a couple picks.
Oh yeah, no, and somebody brought up a good point. Like, Trubisky played all right at the beginning, but most quarterbacks play well at the beginning because, like, certain quarterbacks will play well because you scheme for that. It's the middle part after the first quarter that's no more scheme. You're adjusting to the game plan, adjusting. Teams have adjusted. Like, kind of, you can catch a defense early in a game because they don't know exactly what you're doing. But I'm a Steelers fan. I'm very concerned for this season. J.J. Watt gone. Najee, what was the report on him? Because he got hurt as well.
I think he's gonna be fine.
There was 4 turnovers in the first half, and that game was only 11-point different. You should have been blowing them out. That game should have been sealed by the first half. If I'm a Steelers fan, I would not be happy at all because I'm like, you just showed your offense. Again, what we all talked about, we all said the quarterback's incompetent, and that offense, I don't see it. I don't see how you're moving the ball because unless you're planning to get 5 turnovers every week, you're in trouble because I don't know about you. I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything that really gave me like, oh, they're going to be great. Like, you can't depend on 5 turnovers every week.
Nope.
No, I think my prediction about 9-8 is about right. I don't really see them making waves. Now, TJ Watt's out for the year. We still don't know that yet, but he said if you read his lips, he said he tore his pec. So
Hopefully he's just overestimating, but I bet he's probably right though.
But even then, even with a tore pec, like I remember Doctor was talking about, usually takes a couple, like you're out
he'll
for
be done for the
several
year.
weeks.
He's done for the year.
Yeah, I'm like, I think they said the only person was J.J. Watt came back in like 2-3 months when he did it. But usually he's gone till November at the very least.
Yeah.
I probably meant him late November.
Yeah. If he's gone from the year, that's a difference of probably them winning or losing 2 or 3 additional games.
Oh yeah.
Him being gone.
My defensive player of the year is out, so
Yeah,
No,
I think I
no,
picked him.
he was looking like it. He was looking like he was. I was
Yeah,
like,
he
"Who
had a
is-"
pick. I believe he picked up a fumble or forced one. Something. He was
Yeah.
killing the game. He was destroying
Yeah.
Joe Burrow.
Let's move on to another game. Let's go to Colts versus Texans, which that was.
Now, when we went from a team that both looked like they wanted to lose to a team where neither they did not try to win. Neither trade really tried to win.
Yeah, this was oh my god, I cannot stand purposely going for the tie. Like Lovie Smith should have just tried to go for that 4th and 3. But he said after the game, he said tying's better than losing, so he purposely obviously went for the tie.
Oh, he essentially, yeah.
Yeah, it's so
I
irritating.
mean, technically that is correct. I mean,
Well, I mean, it paid off because the Titans lost too, so technically they're they're in the lead now.
yeah, they're division leaders right now.
Yeah, but you're the Texans. You're not expected
Yeah,
to
now,
be
the
in it at
question
the
is
end.
'cause,
That tie, all that tie is going to cost you is a pick.
Yep. I was gonna. Matt Ryan also fumbled 4 times and threw a pick.
Yeah, it's like
So I thought-
is Matt Ryan an actual improvement on Carson Wentz? Like,
I thought we were trying to
Didn't look
limit
like
these things. That's why you got rid of
Yeah.
Wentz, and your boy makes possibly 5 turnovers in one game. Could have been.
I did see a lot
Yeah.
of Colts fans like praise Matt Ryan because they were down, I think 17-3 or 20-3, something like that. Then they came back and tied it. But I did see a lot of Colts fans giving him credit for things, whereas if it was Wentz who they had the exact same game, they would have criticized him for. So I'm like, it's the inconsistency with these people.
I just want to know
Yeah.
what Colts fans, what Matt Ryan they think they're getting, because they're not getting
Yeah.
MVP.
yeah,
Matt
you're
Ryan.
not
That
getting
is a long
2015
time.
or 2016. You're not getting 2016.
That not even just fans. I've seen announcers, sports people like credit Matt Ryan, and I'm like, what Matt Ryan have you all been watching that gives you this hope that he's back to that 20s whatever?
16.
Like you and I have been watching 2 different Matt Ryans because
Yeah,
he is not showing.
I've seen a lot of Matt
anything.
Ryan because he plays the Panthers twice a year. I've seen a lot. And he doesn't have it anymore.
I think it's more so because the media seems to hate Wentz, so I think
Yeah.
they just view anything as an upgrade.
I think that.
Well, according to the media, you would have thought Wentz threw 30 interceptions last year. Apparently,
And Max, how
from
many
the way
did he
they made
throw?
it seem.
He threw 7 last year.
I mean, last year Matt Ryan had 20 touchdowns, 12 picks. I mean,
Like,
don't see
and
that.
then Wentz last year was what 27-7. Like,
yeah, 27-7.
But those
Yeah.
numbers don't matter if you ask them.
I'm gonna see how many fumbles did Matt Ryan have.
like yeah, the
Matt-
two,
Matt
they're-
Ryan had more
the
fumbles.
they lost, important games, of course. But
Matt Ryan
especially the
had
Texans.
11 fumbles last year. He had 11 fumbles last year. So Matt Ryan coughs the ball up a lot, especially.
I mean, the Colts I think they'll still win the division, especially since we may talk about
Well,
that
the
next, since
Titans can't beat the
lost.
Giants. Then
That's what I'm saying. So I still think the Colts will win the division. I think, but I mean, I just didn't look impressive. Maybe the defense will get better when Shaquille Leonard comes back. But the offense still has the same issues that they had last year, where when the second receiver, aside from Michael Pittman, wasn't any good. It's fun. It is funny to see that people complain about it this year about the Colts not having other weapons when last year it's the same
Yeah,
thing,
same
and they
thing.
didn't make that excuse for Wentz when he was there.
Are we even sure? Are we sure Michael Pittman's the number 1 receiver? Because I'm not.
He
I
played
think
well
he's
yesterday.
good. He played well, but I'm not sure he's a number 1. And I'm like, I think he's a great 2. I'm just, but yeah, I haven't gotten all this stuff. And I think the funny thing is the Colts will make playoffs, and then people will say, "Oh, this is to show you Matt Ryan's better than Wentz." But it's really no. It's because the Titans just got worse. If the Titans were this bad last year, Wentz makes playoffs over them.
Titans. Well, I guess I couldn't say it. Lost to the Texans last year. The Titans did, but
Yep.
Usually they wouldn't lose. The Titans last year probably wouldn't have lost that Titans game yesterday, or that Giants game yesterday.
All right, so let's go ahead and transition from Matt Ryan. We're going to transfer to Carson Wentz. Max, your boy, pulled it out in the end.
Yeah, I mean,
I know people were ready.
Well, I mean, it was funny because Wentz had the 2 bad
Yeah,
picks back
both
to
the
back.
picks were. Yeah,
but it
really
was
bad.
funny to see just. I checked Twitter after the game, see how everyone's like pretty much just saying that was a nail in the coffin. That's it. He's done. And it's just funny that after he came back with the 2 fourth quarter touchdowns to win, that essentially no one mentioned, none of those people who made fun of Wentz for tossing those 2 picks said anything about him winning the game. So it seems like they just hate on him just to hate on him. But when he actually does something good, they're like, it's silent. But for the Commanders themselves, it was a pretty big win for them. First game as the Commanders at home. They're trying to bring the fan base back because they have Dan Snyder as an owner who's in scandals. They have all these issues. So to win the fan base back, pretty much needed to win this game. So yes, Wentz had a couple bad picks, and they were bad.
Well, I'll argue
But-
the second one was more of a good play by Walker than a bad throw because he read that
Well-
screen perfectly.
Well, he did, but Wentz probably should have thrown it to the dirt.
Probably should, but I don't know how many people think the lineman's going to do that nice snag.
Yeah, but the guy Wentz, the guy who everyone says has no testicular fortitude. The fact that he came back and won the game, like these people that say stuff about him, like they don't give him any credit for that. I've seen now today, it's just the Jaguars. I'm like, well, before the game, you were saying he's going to lose to the Jaguars since he lost to them last year. So the whole offseason, you're ragging about losing to the Jaguars, and he beats the Jaguars, and now it's just the Jaguars. Like, come on.
Mind you, it's a better looking Jaguars team. I will give the Jaguars, they do. You can see what a better coach, aka not Urban Meyer, can do with Trevor Lawrence looked a lot better. James Robinson looked good yesterday too.
And
They actually got some return on investment for Christian Kirk, like you said.
yeah, he actually did well.
Well, I don't say, guys, on Washington may be able to win this division with Dak being hurt and the Eagles. Maybe
Eagles
they
should
can.
probably should
Open up for the
Should, but
Giants,
they should-
baby. Open up for the Giants.
Yeah, Giants, baby.
Okay, I'm not going that far.
All right. So we hit some of the first. Let's go ahead and hit the other game. We'll go ahead hit.
One fun fact. Let me get one fun fact. The Wentz stat for you. That was his first 4 touchdown pass game since he tore his ACL back in 2017.
Dang.
Hey, good job, Wentz. Let's go into our number one. Let's go into the other game, the other 1:00 game for our Panthers fans as they get it all out there. As we introduce our Panthers corner or Kitten's cradle, whatever you want to call it.
Kitty corner. The kitty corner.
Well, I'll say the first half was definitely a kiddie corner, if anything. That first half was abysmal, to say the least.
Matt Rule needs to be fired 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's getting to the point where I don't know if it's always the players' fault, just Matt Rule just not knowing how to coach the players.
He don't know how to
They got
coach.
talent. They got talent like almost at every
You know,
position. But
There is
they
an
can't do it.
opening now in Nebraska. I think he'd be perfect for it.
I do think he would definitely be a much better college coach.
Who would win, Jacob? Scott Frost or Matt Rule?
Matt Rule's a better college coach.
Yeah, Matt Rule, because Matt Rule actually did something, whereas Frost, he had one winning season so far.
Yeah. So at least Matt Rule has proven he can coach in college. Let me look at Scott Frost.
Yeah, he did
here.
find at Temple and he did find at Baylor.
Baylor.
Yeah, he did pretty well.
But he does not click in the NFL. I don't like his face. A lot of the decisions he makes is very questionable, like calling the timeout at the end of the first half that gave the Browns a chance to think about it. They went for the field goal, and then the Panthers ended up losing by 2. Obviously not using Christian McCaffrey nearly as much. He had what? How many carries did he have at half? It was like 3 or something. Or
3, I think.
yeah, something like 3 or 4. Anywho, and then Matt Rule comes and says that they weren't efficient enough to use Christian McCaffrey, but maybe if you used him on first and second down, you wouldn't.
Or maybe, throw him a few screen passes. He's kind of good at making people miss. I don't know if you knew that or not. Have him run routes. He's a very good route runner. I mean, there's ways to get McCaffrey the ball without running.
And then Baker
win.
also fumbled 4 times. Now, I don't know if Baker just have soft hands or if Myles Garrett, the Browns defense is just that ferocious.
I do know one of the snaps was bad, but the other 3, I think.
Yeah,
he just
one of
mishandled.
them I think was an aborted snap, but now he didn't lose any of them, but still, just the ball squirting out that much isn't giving me confidence.
Now, granted, I don't like the center they use, so I think they should have used Bozeman.
Yeah, and that's another thing I forgot that about Matt Rule. He basically put Pat Eflin under the bus when it's like everybody. I'm sure some coaches have been telling them to start Bozeman instead of Eflin, and he
Eflin's
still
one of the
started
worst
him.
centers.
And he still started him. So it's kind of on you if he's that bad. Why are you still starting him?
And I know some Panthers fans were bashing Ike Ekwonu for getting destroyed by Garrett, but it's his first game in the NFL going against Myles Garrett.
I can't think of a worse first assignment in your career than Myles Garrett at that point.
But what a great learning lesson for him.
Oh yeah. I'm sure it's gonna be a valuable learning lesson. But
So I'm not going to fault Ike Ekwonu for allowing 2 sacks back-to-back plays because Myles Garrett. I'm surprised he didn't have more sacks.
I really want the Panthers to start 0-3 so Matt Rule can hopefully get fired at that point.
Like I said, the only positive I'll have is Baker did not fold, unlike Sam Darnold would have.
Why you gotta bring my boy into it? He's just in the corner.
That
Why
man
we gotta bring my
folded.
boy?
That man folded. Anytime they lost the lead, he folded.
We'll see what it's like when we'll see how Baker is once the Panthers start like 1-3 or something. To see if he still has that fire, because obviously he was very fired up about playing the Browns, and he didn't have the best stats. I mean, again, the Browns defense is really good, but we'll see how if his confidence is still up once the Panthers are 1-3.
Now I would say he did throw a beautiful deep ball to Robbie Anderson, who was wide open, but he still got to make that throw.
Well, that maybe will help the chemistry with Anderson, because Robbie Anderson criticized Baker during the offseason, so maybe him actually getting the ball this time instead of with Sam Darnold will actually make them not dislike each other.
Like I said, I just don't think the Panthers' passing attack could be any worse than last year, besides the Jimmy Clausen year. So Baker's bound to do better. Just how much, I don't know.
Shout out to Cleveland, and good luck to the Panthers and Matt Rule. Not really. I don't care.
Yeah, good luck, Matt Rule. You
Thank
lost to
you.
Jacoby Brissett. You're fired.
And you shattered,
Yeah.
and you broke an 18-year Week 1 losing streak for the Browns
Yep.
since like
This could
04
be-
or 05, something like that.
We do have an Adam Schefter breaking update for the Steelers. They're saying TJ Watt may not need surgery and will be out about 6 weeks.
Oh, hey, nice.
Let's just go ahead and quickly do Ravens Jets. Ravens, we knew we were going to win. Jets, we knew we were not going to do much.
Ravens,
Um,
pay
yeah,
Lamar. Pay Lamar.
Actually, Jay, how about they don't and the Panthers try to sign him?
Oh my God. that would-
They offered Lamar a contract and he didn't. He
You know,
wants fully
It's
guaranteed.
a pretty fair contract to be
Well,
honest.
but also,
He wants guaranteed.
the
I know.
Deshaun Watson contract is gonna screw things
He
up.
wants it, but I'm gonna be honest. I'm with the Ravens. I wouldn't give him that much money.
No, not-
I'm not giving you full again.
Yeah, the only way he gets it if they win Super Bowl. If he wins Super Bowl, they'll probably give it to him.
Yeah.
Or don't, and the Panthers might.
And it is 2022, and Flacco's still throwing 59 passes. Like,
No, they wanted that Joe Flacco revenge game, and he just couldn't get it.
Yep.
It's tough.
Didn't go well. The other 1 o'clock game, Saints Falcons.
Falcons did what they always do. They
Yep.
choked.
Yep. Yeah, when the Falcons had the lead, I'm like, they're probably gonna choke it, and they did.
I'm not the biggest Jameis Winston supporter, but he was perfect in the fourth quarter. He had 158.3 quarterback rating. He led them down. They were down by over 2 touchdowns, I believe, and they won. So, gotta give him credit for that.
Yeah, Baker also had a perfect quarterback rating in the fourth.
Okay.
remember
but-
my prediction? I said Winston will have less than 15 turnovers. Didn't have a turnover, so it
Didn't
starts.
have one.
It's it starts now.
I mean, good job, Winston.
see.
But still, always making a clown of himself every time he speaks. Like,
Yeah, this dude, man, I don't know what's going on, man.
I swear,
I don't know
he's
what's
got to
up
be.
with
He's
that.
got to be trolling at this point. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Because that post game, I was like, what? What?
This man's just the dumbest stuff, man.
Well, you
I
know,
think
that's
I think it's got to
about
be
it.
on purpose now. Someone has to have talked to him, right? Someone's like, some of the stuff you say
I
sometimes
think
is pretty
he
sus.
sees that he gets interaction online.
Like,
Yeah, true.
he has to be like, people think I'm dumb. I'm just gonna play into it.
I think the Saints could potentially be a playoff team.
I think so, too.
especially if Michael Thomas stays healthy. That defense is good. Weapons are there. They'll probably be one of the wild card teams, I think, and that's what
Yeah,
I
they're
predicted
definitely not
on the
winning
show.
division. No way to win division.
All right.
Unless Tom Brady plays like he did against Dallas, where it's like decent but not good.
And unless maybe Brady's personal life affects it.
Yeah.
'Cause
One could
from what the rumors are saying.
One could dream.
You hope. All right, let's go into our next game. Let's go into some of the 4 o'clock games.
I think we're
let's
missing
look-
one more 1 o'clock Bears 49ers. With this one again,
Yeah,
I think there's
shout
much
out-
to get. You go ahead, do your shout out.
Shout out to the Bears for winning.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins, I saw that tweet. Excited.
Now, I don't think they would have won this game if it wasn't for the conditions.
Yeah.
100% no.
I was like,
But-
Justin Fields still looks like a mixed bag. I think he'll
Well,
be good, but,
yeah, you can't blame him though for this game. Honestly, throwing 2
Yeah.
touchdowns in this was honestly impressive to me.
Yeah, some people
Yeah,
are trying to
that
give
was-
Lance and Fields a hard time for this game, saying it didn't look good. I'm like, the weather conditions were completely terrible. You can't draw. There's nothing I take from this game from either team for
Yeah.
me to
Yeah.
look into the future for it. It
Both
doesn't mean anything
teams,
to me.
both teams ran at 37 times. That just tells you how
Yeah.
what the
Yeah.
And both
How did-
teams were under 50% completion percentage, so just.
I mean, the weather conditions were terrible.
You saw them trying to like take the water out of the field because that was also newly laid down turf
Yeah.
too.
Dude,
So it was laid like 2 days ago
you
before
see
the
that
game.
penalty the Bears snapper got?
yeah, with the
Yeah.
weapon,
Yeah.
the thing now.
How he
Did you
tried to
see
drive
the
field
picture
up.
of the sideline? The sideline wasn't even
Yeah.
straight.
Dude, they got to just get rid. I mean, I know Bears fans hate me to say it, but Soldier Field's got to go. You gotta do a new
No.
stadium.
Actually, after the game, Justin Fields did like a slide on wall. He slid at least a good
Yeah.
15 yards.
That was smooth.
Oh, yeah, no, all of them, which was good. I liked them. They were celebrating. I'm like, yeah, the Bears ain't gonna be a good
would, too,
season.
that type of
Yeah,
game.
that was a big game.
Yeah.
Maybe the Bears will surprise us to a winning season. We'll see. But
I don't think
No,
so.
it won't happen. No, unless the rest of the NFL, because I'm sorry, Justin Fields got nothing on that
I mean,
team.
I get what I would be worried if I was the Niners because that is the most competitive division and losing a game
Right.
that you should win.
I
Yeah.
know. Yep. I was
Could
about to
come
say
back to hurt
this
you.
could potentially hurt the 49ers in their bid to make playoffs. You never know.
Now,
This was a game they should have won.
I mean, they are lucky the Rams got spanked and Arizona got spanked, so maybe division isn't going to be as good as we think it is. But
Let's go ahead into the Giants versus Titans, baby. The Giants. What a comeback, man. What a comeback.
Now, it's the
Daniel
same thing,
Jones.
Saquon's back.
perfect touchdown passes, perfect crisp throwing motion.
Hey, Jago, let me show you a stark difference between quarterback rating and QBR. Daniel Jones' quarterback rating 115.9. His QBR for the game 25.
Oh, they don't know anything. They don't know
Bobby, well,
anything.
1 week QBRs don't mean much because I think, if I remember right, I think Carson Wentz's for this week was lower than Mr. Trubisky, and Mr. Trubisky played terrible.
But no, I like what I saw from the Giants. Saquon, if he keeps this up, is gonna be
Saquon is
great year.
back.
Yeah.
Saquon is back.
And so
Yes,
that gives
they
me more.
improved the line.
That gives me more hope for Daniel Jones to have a competent, team because he just never can get a healthy team with him. So
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm overly impressed because he threw for 200 yards, but still, I mean, they were competitive in this game. And then Dayball, that just shows you the difference between him and the coaches before him going for
Judge.
2 to win that
Which
game.
I
Judge.
was higher. I knew it was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, see, this is what I've been hoping for, is I said, give this man, Daniel Jones, a line that can actually hold up and give him Saquon Barkley somewhat healthy. Also, sure, Sterling was back. Sterling played pretty all rightly, so kind of
Yeah,
gives some
that's
options
what I'm
out there. Yeah, so I'm like, he needs his options. This man was left on an island. I'm not saying he's great, but I thought he'd be enough to win, especially with a game we're going to talk about later.
now his
Well, he's
interception
off to a good
was
start.
bad. He should honestly had 3 touchdown passes, but the battle
And
he
he lost another
Now, I would
fumble.
say the O-line did well, but they also allowed 5 sacks, so that's something they will need to
Yeah,
work
so
on.
but overall, I mean, as a Giants fan, you rarely win in week 1.
Oh, I mean,
so
and you beat a
Yeah.
quality. I mean, again, we don't think Tennessee's
Yeah.
going to make the playoffs, but we do think they're still not a bad football team.
yeah,
So
as
they didn't beat
a
bad football
as
team.
a Titans fan, I was not happy with what I saw.
Yeah.
You trade AJ Brown, and then obviously you draft a guy you think is gonna be AJ Brown, but you could have just had AJ Brown. I think that's gonna really come back to bite him. Derrick Henry looks fine.
3 catches, 55
So that was
yards,
good.
not
Well,
bad.
and he had over like 20 carries. Tannehill was fine, but there's still some things he does when the game's on the line that drive me nuts.
Well, to be fair, this time he did. I mean, they got him to the field goal range, 47
Yeah,
yards,
yeah.
I think it was, and that kicker just shanked it. Absolutely
yeah,
shanked it.
again, terrible weekend for kickers. Tennessee, their defense losing Harold Landry is going to really hurt.
It will add up. Yeah, that'll add up. But hey, good job, New York.
Yep.
Yep, they won. I didn't think they were going to.
Let's go to a blowout, Kansas City. I don't know if there's much to say besides.
I mean, look, the thing is, Mahomes. Look, if anybody thought Mahomes would be any different without Tyreek, no, Mahomes is Mahomes. So
Yep.
he's still the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah, I said the only thing might hurt them against like the Bills not having Tyreek.
Well, I mean,
That's the
it
only
will.
thing.
It is. Not having Tyreek is the difference between winning and losing that playoff game.
So I think like
Yeah.
against like a top quality team that may hurt him, but against like the Cardinals, I don't think it's going
No,
to
that'll be fine. No, same. Because even with my prediction, that's why I said like it's not going to matter till they play the better teams. That's going to be where it comes back. But a game like that, nah, he
But,
can't. Also, Mahomes is also really good in September. It's like ridiculous in September, and has yet to throw an interception in his like week 1 games. Random stat of the
Yeah,
day.
but I mean, if you're a Chiefs fan, you gotta be feeling good about the receiving core after this game because they did decent. They did just
He
fine.
spread him. He spread him out. I mean,
Yep, spread them out.
the bigger storyline out of this is what to do with Arizona, because like
Yeah.
ever since Hopkins has gotten hurt and / suspended now, this offense is nowhere near the same. And I believe I saw stats that ever since they went 10-2 to start last year, I think they've lost 6 of the 7 games since then.
But
Yeah.
you know, like I said, if Kyle Murray's stats go down when Call of Duty comes out, so it's only gonna get worse.
That comes out like not
Yeah.
too long from now, I think.
Yeah, and like I said, right now who should be feeling the hot seat is their coach, Cliffsbury.
Yeah.
Kingsbury. He should be feeling the hot seat because personally I didn't think he was that great of a coach. They got like a weird start last year, but I feel him probably. You're gonna have a lot of questions because I don't know if they're really. I felt this year they're just gonna go down. Like I said, I don't have them making playoffs. I think DeAndre Hopkins is going to affect them, and I think Marquise Brown's a good addition, but still, there was so much to worry. That line really was not helping Kyler at all, and the defense. I mean, they were playing Kansas City, so I'll give the defense a break.
If what you say, Phil, comes to fruition, they don't make playoffs. Kingsbury's gone too.
Yep. All right, we'll go to the other another 4:00 game, the big one, talking about the 2-time MVP, Mr. Rodgers. I'm gonna start a little bit. Overreaction is everybody thinking the Packers suck. Do I think they're still going to make playoffs? Yes. They started off bad last season. What I did see, and this was going to be my concern, and I think it's going to be a concern more later and when they play the better teams, the connection with the new receivers. You saw right off the bat, Aaron Rodgers had that bomb, that receiver dropped it. That was all on the receiver.
Did you
and you
see
kind of
the look
you
of
saw
disgust?
Aaron Rodgers look.
Yeah, you see the look of disgust. Oh my gosh, he was disgusted.
And he didn't throw it to him again till like the end of the game. So I think there's a lot of trust that Aaron Rodgers is going through, and I think that receiving core, you saw it really could have used Devontae Adams yesterday.
Yeah, maybe the Green Bay Packers would draft a first-round receiver. That might help.
Not gonna happen. They just won't do it. Simply can't be done.
They obviously think that Rodgers can turn any castaway into gold.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like, oh, you can turn anybody to a 1,000-yard receiver, right? Right?
He's like, they got to be at least decent first.
Like you're not the Broncos of the mid 2000s where you could turn anybody into a 1,000-yard rusher.
Yeah, I would say even like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, they won't. They'll be just like Rodgers. Like, what is going on with these guys?
Another thing that's concerning for me if I was the Packers, the defense allowed 23 points, which is not bad, but Jefferson was wide open whenever he wanted to be. How does that happen?
You would think you have like a double team on him or something. I know Thielen's good, but he's not Jefferson.
Kirk Cousins threw 277 yards. 184 of them went to Jefferson. I mean,
that's pretty good.
I think I would double him and just risk Adam Thielen beating me.
Yeah, at this point, yeah.
I read somewhere that said that all the catches from Justin Jefferson did not come when Jair Alexander was on him. I'm like, why was Jair Alexander not following him wherever he went?
They probably had this Jair play one side of the field like a lot of coaches do now.
Yeah,
But,
true.
I
I was going to say that's what they used to do. Revis, he followed the best receiver.
Yeah.
That's what you prove. I think to give some light to Minnesota, I will say there's a couple things they did do. Jefferson and a lot more motion. Like they said, they put him in in the first half. They put him in 5 motion plays. They said all last year he averaged 5.6 or something motion plays. So they moved him around. You could see that offense because a lot of people have been talking about how high powered that offense is going to be this year. They're moving, so they're being smarter, moving their top wide receiver around to kind of get him more open. Even on his touchdown, they just went across, and then they just got him open. The run game still looks solid, which is going to be a big factor. Thielen was looking pretty good, the older Thielen from a couple years ago. So they got quite a bit. This again, I'm feeling pretty good about my they're going to win division because that was also the thing I will also say from last year is when the Packers lost to the Saints last year. At least it was outside of division. That also could be a game I think we all see it. That division's going to come down, I think, to one game. That might be a game they regret losing. Granted, it's early, but still.
I think that the Vikings probably will have a top 5 offense. You got 2 high quality receivers, a superstar, and a very good second receiver. You got one of the best running backs, and Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback. His only issue is when the lights become bright.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins, like I said in the NFL thing, his statistics are beautiful. It's just a lot of times, if it's not the Packers, he has a decent record against Rodgers, but like other big name quarterbacks, he usually doesn't do that well.
So that's my only concern. If the lights are bright, can he get over that hump?
And he needs to season his meat. I can't stand it.
Primetime record's trash. But, hoping not too many primetime games.
His prime rib sucks too.
I will say that their defense played well as well. The defense did what it needed to do.
Which is something because the defense wasn't good last year. So if this is like the Minnesota defense of a few years ago with that offense, they'll definitely win that division.
Yeah, they'll do it. They'll win the division.
So let's go into that exciting matchup for the Chargers versus the Raiders. A very good, big division game.
I mean, Justin Herbert just shows that he is one of the top 5 quarterbacks.
There was one throw he had on there that I saw on Twitter earlier. They showed it from the all 22 angle. It was absurd. This dude can hit any throw. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. Any throw. I wasn't surprised they won this game. Kind of surprised that Derek Carr threw 3 picks. That was more surprising to me because he usually doesn't turn the ball over that much.
Great debut for Devontae Adams, though.
Yeah.
That connection is going to be one of the best this year.
Sure. And it's good they got those 3 picks because J.C. Jackson's not back yet. So.
And the only concern I have for the Chargers is their run game.
Yeah, they need to get a big back in there.
Yeah.
Right, they got Sonny Michel, right? They need to use him, but he's probably still catching up to the.
He had 7 carries, 12 yards this game.
He's still probably getting his legs under him for it.
He takes a bit, and I think the other question is going to be Keenan Allen. Have they said word on Keenan yet?
He's going to miss a few weeks. They play Chiefs on Thursday night. I think they'll lose that game.
But they won this week, which was a big game to win. Because I think, again, big, always getting the division, even if it's early, smallest, like we said several times. They come back to bite you in the end.
You got clear
come back. 3
sacks. I mean, how many sacks did they get? They had 6 sacks this game.
Going to the last game, the Sunday night game, Cowboys versus Buccaneers.
Well, I mean, the really big thing I note is the Cowboys season is pretty much over.
Cowboys, you're in trouble. Sign Cam Newton.
Unless Cooper Rush is that guy.
He is not that guy.
Not that guy.
I don't feel he is.
I guarantee you he's not that guy. What Skip Bayless should try to tell people. He is not that guy.
I know it was the Buccaneers defense, but even like that, granted, Buccaneers defense played well. Just that first part is they couldn't move the ball. Them not having Gallup, again, another one that Max and I both said, them not having Amari Cooper will come back to bite them. And I think too many people just kept saying CeeDee Lamb's going to be great. Yeah, you have nobody. Like, Cooper was still a good guy, and you had to take attention away. Especially Gallup is supposed to miss another week. And you're now having to rely on Ezekiel Elliott with a line that does not look – the line did not look that great.
And
good
the
luck.
line had more injuries too. Even before Dak got hurt, the offense was putrid. So the long season outlook, even with Dak Prescott, I was questioning that too.
Yeah, the only bright spot was Michael Parsons looked like a beast. But
and the defense didn't play that bad. They allowed 19 points. That's pretty good.
Tom Brady wasn't as sharp as he usually is, but
no, but still.
He missed time. He's going to get in the reps. He's got Julio Jones and him will get better. Chris Godwin went out for a little bit.
He hurt his hamstring again.
He'll be out a few weeks.
Yeah. But again, Russell Gage was getting more into the rhythm. They'll be fine.
Julio looked good.
Yeah, Julio.
Got that big, deep catch. That was pretty good.
Of course, Julio can stay healthy.
Yeah. I still think Tampa Bay is going to win. I think they're going to be number 1 seed. And I still think Tom Brady could potentially win MVP. But Dallas, I mean, I didn't have the winning division, but anybody who did might not be so good now.
And unless you're depending on Zeke and Pollard carrying that team, I don't know what you're expecting.
Yeah.
Well, I agree with Jacob. Just sign Cam Newton. He's better than Cooper Rush.
Yeah.
I'm with you. If I'm them, I'm looking for Cam Gardner-Minshew. I might ask 49ers, what does Jimmy Garoppolo cost? Because you're going to need something. I do not believe in Cooper Rush getting you third.
No, absolutely not.
Obviously, there's going to be teams this next week, couple weeks. You see teams adjust. What team, what great team, what bad team looks good and then drops. Let us know your thoughts of what you think how the season will shake out. I will congratulate Max for whooping my tail in fantasy this week. T. Higgins going down hurt me. It's just 1 week loss. We'll bounce back.
Will you?
Again, thank you for all those who watched. Please like, subscribe, share with all your friends. Let us know if there's anything else you would like us to talk about. We'll hit it next time. And go ahead and comment below. My name's Legacy.
My name's Max.
I'm Bobby.
And Vitamin J.
All right, and may the discussions begin. See you.